Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 24 of tracking the local shifting real estate market here in Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester counties of southern New Jersey. And this is the largest jump in price we've had since the start of the year. I'm going to come right out of the gate with this one. We have had the single largest jump from median list price from last week to this week that we have had through the 24 weeks of this year. Now, we only have 2 weeks till the midpoint of the year. I'm really looking forward to just kind of doing a deep dive into kind of how that first half of the year has gone. What do we see going forward? However, this isn't going to be a long one today because this is pretty much the only thing that I want to talk about is just where we sit with the prices. Now, we've talked a lot of times going through these and saying, wow, prices are coming up. And we've kind of seen that. The first 10 weeks of the year, they've been hovering. They kind of had some funky things that were going on. We had a really weird end of the last 4 months of last season when the interest rates became really volatile. They kind of settled out a little bit in kind of that April, then coming into May, kind of like late March, April, May. And we've seen just a really nice, simple, steady increase from weeks 12 to 17. We were at about $320,000 for median list price. Then a couple weeks after that, we hovered right around $325,000. And then the past 3 weeks, we went to 326, 329, 339. So we've had almost a $15,000 jump just in the past month in median list price. That's a huge jump up, and 10,000 of that came in just this last week. So here's the lesson. If you said to me, hey, at week 12, right, that was the first week up since the start of the year where prices really kind of jumped to a new point. And if you said, hey, prices are a little bit higher than where they've been, I'm going to wait for prices to come back down and then I'm going to purchase, right? Probably a normal conversation to have, right? We talked about this, and real estate's not the only one. When lumber prices went up, we said, we're going to wait for lumber to come back down and then we'll buy lumber. The problem is homes aren't lumber. Well, they're made of lumber, a lot of them are, but the home market is a very different market. And it's so much more based on the interest rates, and it's so much based on availability. Now, the hard thing is, as we sit here now looking at week 24, is this the all-time high that we're going to have? Or is week 24 just another week 12? In the sense that, while yes, it's higher than the preceding weeks, so relatively, I think that prices are too high. Or is week 24 just going to be another one of those where we say, yeah, this 339 was just a stepping stone on our way to 359, 369. So if you're waiting to move because of a milestone, getting married, having a divorce, having kids leave the house, upsizing, downsizing, right? All sorts of different reasons you would want to move, and you might have to wait for a kid to graduate to do that, or you might have to wait for a kid to be born to do that. I get that, and that's fine. That's moving around the milestones. That's very legitimate. It's how most people move, right? There's a lot of people who are not waiting for one of those milestones. Actually, that milestone has come and passed. And now you're sitting here in a situation that's not favorable to the lifestyle you have now and going forward, and you're waiting and deciding, when should I move? So the fear I have, and I'm not tied to any of this, I don't really care whether it goes up or down or whatever, but I need to know what's going on so that I can, when I talk to buyers and I talk to sellers, I can actually understand from their perspective how they want to enter the market, but also be able to relay just stats about where the market is. And where I have some fear right now is that you're going to sit here looking at this 339 number and saying there's no way it could go higher. Look, I'm not a political guy, and I don't try to bring any of that into the show. It's not the point of this show. This is just local real estate. But we have to understand what's going on from a macroeconomic financial sense, and that interest rates are still high. Quantitative easing hasn't really gotten us to a point where we can bring that back down quite yet. We see that our prices have gone up. And when interest rates do turn around, whether that's this year or maybe not even this year, maybe next year they'll start to come down a bit. What's going to happen to prices then? And what's going to happen with inflation? We're not going to deflation. We're inflation. So the value of the dollar is going to shrink for the asset it can buy. So it's going to require more dollars to buy a same asset. So if you just take those two factors, the interest rates are going to come down eventually, and there'll be a feeding frenzy because of it, as Barbara Corcoran told us last week from that Fortune magazine interview she did. And then we take a look at this too, from this standpoint, from where we are, from a total active listings. We see it in the blue graph. We know our listings are down. I'm very fearful that this red line is going to continue. So just know, and we're going to end here, just know that if you're sitting here at week 24 and you're scared of where prices will be, don't be scared of that. Be scared of where they're going to be in 6, 8, 12 weeks from now, and you'll have waited to then buy. You're going to get a smaller house with less of the things you want, and it's going to cost you more to do so. So that's it for this week. If any of you have any questions on obviously anything that we cover in these videos, or you want to learn a little bit more about your specific situation, about what would be applicable for where you are from a milestone or not, or just considering, or how to get in the market, or what are the first steps, you can always reach out to me. You guys have my email address. It's generally attached to all these videos, phone number, but you can Google me. You can find me as my Google business page and read some of my reviews. You could just reach out however you want to. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys linking up for this week. And we got 2 more weeks till the halfway point of the year. So let's see what happens. All right. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.